Every club.
Every day.
The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to a surprise edition of the Daily Newcastle coming out on Saturday morning. Wow. Which we have to do because we have a match review to do. We don't play very often on a Friday night, but we did last night. My name is Iain Mackay. I'm here to do a solo pod tonight. Everybody else has got something to do on the Friday night. Joanne was there, so I know that she'd had plenty of beers, so she was able to enjoy the game. I had Kev's babysitting, Nicola and Michael. Don't know where they went. Something better to do than talk to you guys on a Friday night, anyway. So yes, Newcastle have drawn 2-2 at home against Espanyol in the fifth pre-season friendly. Putting a positive spin on it, that's 2 games unbeaten now, following the draw with Spurs, or that's 5 games pre-season friendlies that we have failed to win. Not to worry. There were some encouraging signs tonight, as there were against Tottenham. It was a fairly makeshift side that went out, but we did see first team debuts for Aaron Ramsdale and for Sung-Soo Park. I think that's what we call him. And they both made quite a good impression on me. It was give and take. We had dominated possession of the ball. I think we had about 65% to 35%. But unfortunately, we fell behind to a bit of a wonder goal. Ramsdale made a great dive, but got nowhere near. Quite a stunning shot from 25 yards. It went right in the top corner by Exposito for Espanyol, probably against the run of play, I think, at that stage. But yeah, running through the team, what we had Ramsdale in goal, Shah and Burnett centre half, Matt Targett, I think, left back, and Lewis Hall was playing on the left side of midfield, and they kept swapping over. Down the right, it was crafted right back with Murphy on the wing. Miley and Bruno completed the midfield, and Sela played up front. So quite a lot of young kids in there, and clearly a lot of the senior professionals being saved for the Cellar Cup match. But we'll have a look at that in part 3 in the match preview section. So after 16 minutes, Espanyol had gone 1-up with a great goal. But Newcastle came back into it, and I will not say this very often, I guarantee, in this coming season. After a nice bit of play from Lewis Miley, who crossed the ball to assist Matt Targett, heading in an equaliser. Miley assist, Targett goal. I'm sure that hasn't been done before, and probably won't be done again. But yeah, the Newcastle team played quite well. I was quite impressed with some useful touches from Sung-Soo Park. He does look like he's ready to me. I don't know if it's because there was a team full of young kids. Was very, very pleased in that first half to see Lewis Hall play, making 1 or 2 overlapping runs. He obviously needed some minutes because he's just coming back from his injury, so ended up subbed at half time. Was also really impressed with how assured Lewis Miley looked in doing a remarkably good impersonation of Sandro Tonali, I thought. Always seemed to have time on the ball when it came out of defence. Distributed pretty well. Bruno as well was all over the place, trying hard. And we deserve to be level anyway. Targett, of course, 15 minutes later, whacked somebody in the box, just a bit too slow to react to a ball, and gave away a penalty. So Ramsdale was able to cover himself in glory by saving that penalty, perhaps clearing it out of danger. So we went in at half-time 1-1. As I say, I was quite impressed with Ramsdale, his distribution. He looks assured when he gets the ball at his feet and lays it off. There's no panic when he's got it doing that. No marvellous 60-yard passes onto the feet of the centre forward yet. Fab Shah was trying that, but generally getting absolutely nowhere near doing it. We know that he can do it. I still remember Joe Linton's goal against Tottenham. Wow. Um, so I was quite impressed with Ramsdale. I thought Sung Soo Park played played pretty well. He can beat a man, which is always good. Um, Miley, as I said, looked really assured for me. Hall with some touches. Subbed at half time, and Alfie Harrison came on, and we went into the second half. A game of very few chances to report, of course. One nice run and shot from outside the box from a Sela, which took a deflection that looked like it might have sneaked in, but forced a good save. Um, Dan Burn was his usual solid self at the back, I thought. Um, although I did think that both Fabshar and Jacob Murphy, for being two of the most senior professionals in that side, they did look a little bit lethargic. I don't mean they did anything particularly wrong, but they played like it was a friendly, I guess you could say. And I probably was hoping to see something a bit more than that. Murphy got onto the score sheet with about 15 minutes to go, pressing on the edge of the box and forced one of their defenders to make a suicidal cross field pass inside his own box, which Murphy intercepted and dispatched very well. That put us 2-1 up. And for the next 10 minutes, it did look as though we were going to be able to have this first win of the pre-season. Unfortunately, with 90 seconds to go, it wasn't to be. It was Target who I think was asleep, maybe just tired. But the winger got in behind him, and although Target recovered to get in front of him before he cut back and put the cross in, there was a really nice flick header at the near post from Kike, who, I have to admit, I only vaguely remember. Ex-Middlesbrough striker Kike, who looked about 48. He's probably not quite that old. But anyway, he put that ball away really well for an equaliser with 90 seconds left. Second half performances, again, Sung Soo Park looked good. Miley looked assured. I thought Alfie Harrison came on and showed some nice touches. I think, given the experience, he might develop into somebody who can take a place in this squad this season. One or two of his passes went a bit astray, though, so maybe it's a confidence thing. Sean Neve came on for. Who did he come on for? It wasn't for Asula, because Asula switched over to the left wing, where he huffed and puffed and didn't really do very much. Sean Neve came on and also did a lot of running about. Had a one go at trying to get on the end of a header, but it didn't come to anything, so didn't really see very much of him. Didn't really make an impression. One very good free kick routine involving Murphy and Target, who actually put the ball across for Shah, who took it down well and had a shot, but was well saved. And it ended 2-2. Shots on target, 7 to Newcastle, 4 to Espanyol. So we could have won, but then we did save a penalty, so we could have lost. And I guess a draw was fair enough. 9 shots to 8 in Newcastle's favour, 2 corners each. It was a pretty even game, and I quite enjoyed it. The key thing is fitness for a lot of players who will not be first teamers, which is all good. And we avoided defeat. So I'm going to draw a veil there. I went for a 3-1 prediction last night. I don't know if you heard that. And at 2-1, I thought I might have been able to fluke that because I have no idea whether we're going to beat Espanyol. But unfortunately, Kike put paid to the win and my £2 3-1 prediction. Never mind. You can't win them all, as they say. Now, I am going to pause there from a match review, about a 6 out of 10 performance, and play you the Bioniq advert. I'm back with a little bit of an update on the transfer window because there are lots of developments today, and then we'll preview the Cellar Cup.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Thank you, Keane. Part 2 then. Transfer window. Ins and outs, maybe? Ins, interesting that there are a lot of different names that are being touted around. Virtually every centre forward who's played in Division 1 and higher has been mentioned at some stage in the last 48 hours as a replacement target for Sesko. But according to Craig Hope, there's only 2 transfer deals that Newcastle are actually active in seeing through to the end. Both good players, I think. Both mentioned before. Wissa from Brentford, who would be a Callum Wilson replacement rather than the Isak replacement, and has made it clear for the last 6 weeks that he wants to join Newcastle. That deal has been blocked until Brentford can sign a replacement. Where have I heard this sort of argument before? Brentford are going for Ouattara at Bournemouth. Apparently, wages aren't going to be a problem, so they just need to agree the fee. So hopefully that'll get done, and we will see Wissa whizzing up. Reported that his agents and entourage are flying into England, presumably to come up and start thrashing out a deal on his behalf with Newcastle. We hope. Definitely will not be anywhere near the Cellar Cup tomorrow, but obviously if he's signed before Thursday midnight, I think he would be available to play on the Saturday game against Aston Villa, the first game of the season. So interesting. That would give us a striker, a good Premier League striker with a lot of experience and a lot of goals to lead the line in the first Premier League game without having to resort to persuading Alexander Isak to come back. I mentioned Alexander Isak. He's probably going to be an out, I think. We're still in the market for strikers. As I say, lots of different names touted. The big one, which David Ornstein at the Athletic has mentioned that we're very interested in, but haven't made a move for yet, is Samu at Porto. 6'4", 21 years old, one prolific season with Porto. Quite a chance to take, but then that's what I've been clamouring for. Let's take the chance before anybody else does and turn these guys into the world-class striker that we turned Isak in after 18 months, 2 years in black and white. Samu has got a very similar profile, I think. I'm not sure how much it would cost. He might be quite expensive, but then Isak was. And if we're going to sell Isak because we do sign a replacement, of course, we've got a lot of money, so we can afford a big transfer fee. I would be really pleased if Samu would come. Again, lots of different strikers, but I think you're working further down the list. We ran through those earlier in the week. Strand Larsen, Ollie Watkins. I don't think I'll go for an Ollie Watkins if Wissa is going to join, and that does seem like that is on. They would both be approaching 30, and I don't think we would get a non-returning asset in twice. Lots of other names, I'm not going to mention them. They've all been ruled in and ruled out. We're certainly not making any active discussions to try and go and sign anybody. But fingers crossed, when we do, we'll be picking the phone up to Porto and going for Samu, who has a wonderful profile and would be a genuine Alex Isak replacement. All of which, I think, means that we probably have seen Alex Isak play his last game for Newcastle, which is a real shame. I mean, he's a legend, although I think he might have tarnished that by the way he's agitated to move to Liverpool. Well, we can all understand why he'd want to move to Liverpool, but I think when you're 3 years into a 6-year contract, it could be done a little bit more gently, just out of respect for the fans, for the club, etc. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. There's lots of people being all affronted by it. It's football, isn't it? And we've just done exactly the same to try and get Wissery. So let's not be hypocrites. The other deal that we are apparently actively pursuing is for Malik Chow at AC Milan to come in as centre-back. We've looked at him for a few years. He seems as if he's going to be a decent buy. We had a 25 million euro bid rejected a while ago. They had a 28 million offer from Como that they accepted, but then he didn't want to go to Como. He wants to go to a Champions League team. But the price apparently has gone up because he's performed so well in pre-season. The AC Milan manager doesn't want to lose him. So I think we're going to have to loosen the purse strings a little bit. But to be fair, both Wissa, if he comes as a Callum Wilson replacement, and Chow, if he comes in as effectively the Lloyd Kelly replacement, is continuing this massive improvement in quality for each of the squad members as we bring in replacements. I'm thinking of Alanga in for Almiron and Ramsdale in for Dubravka. This is good. If we could be improving the squad in quality with every signing, then that obviously is a way forward. I'm still worried about numbers, though. I think we need more than one centre-back. Kev doesn't. He says, well, we've got Lascelles, we've got Botman. I'll be amazed if they play 10 games each next season. And we've got 60 games maybe to play next year if we have any sort of decent cup runs. So I think we need a second centre-back. I'd love Alex Murphy to step up and perform as part of that. But, if we end up with an injury or two, we will still need another one. So let's see what happens in the rest of the transfer window. But fingers crossed, we'll get Wissa, we'll get Chow over the line in time for the Villa game. And we will be trying to bring big name striker like Samu in to replace Isak. I don't think Isak will play in the Liverpool-Newcastle game if he's just moved 2 days beforehand. But hey, that would make for a spicy evening on that Monday night, wouldn't it? All good. So, yeah, I'm not going to go into all the speculation. Let's just wait and see who else we go for. But we're definitely in the market for another midfielder. We still want this big striker. I think we need a second centre-back. There's also lots and lots of bargains to be had. Maybe we'll get some loan players. I don't know. It's all still to unfold. I'm going to pause there for part 2. Part 3 is going to be a preview of the Cellar Cup weekend, which I'm going to pause to read you the Zencastr advert before I do, as follows. Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spend a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr. So, how do we preview tomorrow's game? This afternoon's game against Atletico Madrid, which forms the Cellar Cup. The ladies play at 1 o'clock. The men's team play at 4. I think it's really simple subtraction to know that Pope will be in goal. I imagine Trippier and Livramento are going to be your fullbacks. Lascelles will be at centre half, and I'm not sure if Botman's injured or not, because he did get a little bit. He's come off limping, and he's had a couple of weeks to recover. I don't know if he's injured. I haven't heard. Maybe I should have done. If it's not Botman, then that'll be where Alex Murphy comes. Oh, no, Alex Murphy was an unused substitute tonight, so he'll need some time. Maybe he'll start at left centre half, which I think is his best position. Midfield will definitely have Tonali and Joe Linton in. Wondering who they might bring in for the third one, because Miley and Guimaraes play tonight. So one of the reserves, not Alfie Harrison. Maybe it'll be Travis Hearn. He's kind of impressed me in flashes when we've seen him come on and play. I'm guessing it's going to be Gordon down the middle, Barnes on the left, and somebody else down the right. Oh, Alanga, of course, down the right. So quite a lot of the senior first team choices held over to play against Atletico, and that's only right. Espanyol, I heard, finished 14th in the first division in Spain last year, avoiding relegation by winning their last game of the season. Atletico finished third, so we would expect a stronger game against Atletico. So we're saving up to put a stronger team out. I will be watching on the TV again, although I know that more than Joanne is at the Cellar Cup to actually watch it. So we ought to come back on Sunday morning with a review of the game, and I will try and rope some of those guys in to come and tell us how it all works. If it's Joanne, she's going to want to talk about the ladies' match, which is fine. And then we can have a little bit of a look as to how we're shaping up for the big kickoff the following weekend, because that will be our final warm-up game. And we have to beat them to have actually won any of our warm-up games. So all good, all very interesting. I think it'll be a good game. You know, we must be getting up towards match fitness now. As must they. They start their season next weekend as well. So I think that will be very, very good. Not much of a preview, that really, is it? I'm just guessing the team. Don't know who's injured. No idea who Atletico are going to play. But there you go. There's a match on tomorrow, and you've had your preview in the morning. I will leave it there. That was me, Iain Mackay, doing another solo pod on a very strange Saturday morning solo pod. And we'll be doing an even stranger Sunday morning one following the game later on today. We'll see you soon.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.